only see this if you are actually serious for Ramadan.
Every year, Ramadan comes. Every year, we fast. And every year, many of us leave unchanged. We all know what Ramadan is. At least, we think we do. We know it's the most pious month, the month of fasting. The month where we wake up before dawn, hold back hunger till sunset, pray more, give more, and try, at least for these days, to stay away from sin. These are the things we grow up hearing. These are the outer layers of Ramadan. And there's nothing wrong with that. But have you ever paused and wondered, is this all Ramadan is? Because knowing about Ramadan and understanding Ramadan are not the same thing.
This is a space where we think, reflect, and return, where deen and dunya aren't separate, just lived together. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Ramadan is described as the 9th month of the Islamic calendar, the 4th pillar of Islam, a month where fasting is obligatory from dawn to sunset. All of that is true, but Ramadan was never meant to stay confined to definitions. If it were only about abstaining from food and drink, then hunger alone would have been enough to explain it, but it isn't. Ramadan is a pause written into time itself, a pause where the body is asked to step back so the soul can finally step forward, where eating, drinking, and desires are restrained, not because they are evil, but because they are loud. And Ramadan quiets the noise, so reflection can finally be heard. It's the month where days are no longer measured by meals, but by meaning, where the moon decides the beginning and the end, gently reminding us that even time bows to Allah's command. And every year, as Ramadan moves earlier by days, it whispers the same truth again and again. This world is never fixed, but Allah always is. So then the question slowly changes. If Ramadan is more than fasting, what is it that makes this month so special? Because Allah could have made fasting obligatory without attaching it to a month. He could have spread these acts across the year. He could have made worship heavy without making it collective. But He didn't. Ramadan is special because Allah chose it. He chose it as the month in which the Quran was sent down, not as a book of information, but as a conversation between the Creator and His creation, guidance for hearts that forget, direction for souls that wander. And in this month, rewards are multiplied, not because our deeds suddenly become extraordinary, but because our intentions finally become honest. Charity flows more easily, not just as zakat, sadaqah, or fitra, but as patience when anger rises, as kindness when restraint is hard, as silence when words could wound. Hands give more because the heart begins to understand. Nothing was ever truly ours. And then there is Laylatul Qadr, a night hidden so it is searched for, a night greater than 1,000 months, not because of how long it lasts, but because of how close Allah feels in it. A single sincere dua on that night can outweigh years of distance. But here's something that keeps coming back to my mind. What would this world have been like without Ramadan? Islam would still be here. The Quran would still be here. The pillars would still exist. But without this one month that gathers hearts together, without this annual reminder that pulls people back, without this pause where even the most distant feel invited, can you really imagine it? Even those raised in practicing families need Ramadan because life distracts, routine numbs, and reminders fade. Now, imagine those who weren't raised in practicing homes, those who drift, those who barely pray, those who know they are Muslim but don't really live Islam. Without Ramadan, what would have pulled them back? Because we've all seen it. People who don't pray all year return to their Rabb in this month. Hearts that stay hard soften. Tears come easily. Hope appears again. Ramadan doesn't teach Allah is watching. It reminds us. It reminds us where we belong, who we belong to, and that no matter how far we wandered, the door was never closed. This month holds a power that cannot be explained only by rules. Shayateen being locked is one thing, but hearts returning home is another. Ramadan makes people come back to their place, and that place is with with Allah. And when I think about that, I can't help but feel overwhelmed. How blessed we are to be His creation, to live in a time where Ramadan still visits us, to witness how an entire ummah changes its rhythm for Allah. This is why Ramadan feels different. This is why it feels alive. And maybe this is why it hurts when it leaves.
So, when we talk about winning Ramadan, it was never really about perfect fasts or flawless days and nights. It was always about something simpler than that, about leaving Ramadan a little different from how we entered it. And honestly, that's also why Ramadan is so special. You win Ramadan when fasting teaches you self-control beyond sunset, when charity teaches you detachment beyond the month, when prayer teaches you presence beyond the masjid. Because Ramadan is always teaching you something new, you know? It's the month where you start noticing what shaitan usually does to you, how easily you get distracted, how quickly you react. And then, when Ramadan comes, you realize maybe it wasn't always that hard. Even Taraweeh teaches you that you can stand, that you can pray for long hours, that you can stay there, standing in prayer with khushu in your heart, even when you thought you couldn't. And fasting in Ramadan teaches you self-control. You realize, yeah, if I can control my hunger, if I can control my desires, then maybe I'm not as powerless as I thought. Everything teaches you something in this month, and before anything else, it teaches you who your priority is, what you are, and who you really are. Ramadan teaches you that it was never meant to stay, but what it builds inside you is meant to last. And maybe that's the greatest contemplation of all. Ramadan is not the destination. It is a reminder of what life looks like when Allah is given priority, a reminder of who we could be if we stopped postponing closeness, a reminder that if 1 month can soften us this much, then perhaps the heart was never as hard as we thought. I'll try to share few more reflections this Ramadan. If this felt meaningful, you're always welcome to return, inshaAllah.